Hey everybody, Greg Gallas here running for Rochester Public School Board. Election Day is just a few days away, and I wanted to send everybody a message about the crossroads that I believe we are at when it comes to education in Rochester. My opponent, who is the consummate insider, who will tell you that they have served on almost every committee that the district has to offer. Well, let's look at where serving on those committees has put the Rochester education system. First and foremost, we have a discipline issue. It's not that we have a disparity. We are allowing poor behavior. Our district policy manual is very clear on what is and is not acceptable behavior. Those policies need to be enforced, regardless of race, creed, color, or gender. The second issue, budget. Let's look at 6 months ago when the superintendent came out and says, well, it looks like we're going to be short after recently passing a 10% property tax increase that was supposed to get us through the 2020 school year. Guess what? Where did all the money go? We're running short. Not to mention the fact that we are now not looking at potentially one new school, but 3 new schools. If you look at the projected numbers, we don't have that kind of growth. Do we have more growth than normal because of the DMC initiative? Absolutely we do. And that's why I would consider looking potentially at one new school. And then last but not least, let's talk about the test scores. For the last 2 years combined, Rochester Public Schools has fallen below the state average. That has never happened. My opponent has been intricately involved in all aspects of this district, and this is where we're at. You know, recently at one of the forums, my opponent said that they could hit the ground running because they've been this involved. But what one of my supporters after the forum mentioned is that, well, yes, they can hit the ground running, but we are running downhill. And I think that is unacceptable for our students. I think that's unacceptable for our staff, and it's unacceptable for the community of Rochester. I believe it is a pivotal year in education for Rochester, Minnesota. Do we want to continue on this downhill decline? Do we want to see the consummate insider continually take us further and further down that hole? I say no. I believe it's time for a fresh, new set of eyes. Somebody who's going to ask those questions, not only at the board table, but of this community. What do you want to see for Rochester education? We can do better, and we must do better. I'm Greg Gallas. I'm the outsider in this race, and I am asking for your vote on November 6th to change the direction of education in Rochester. And how I've end all my videos is with a statement from Albert Einstein. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. I think it's time for new results. I think it's time for new achievement. I think it's time for an outsider who's going to question the status quo of this district and start moving us, our students, our staff, and the community in a more positive direction. Again, I'm Greg Gallas. I'm running for Rochester Public School Board seat number 6, and I do ask for your vote on November 6th. Thank you.